Hi, and welcome to the Canceled News. I had the studio boarded up because Candace Owens said that Derek Chauvin was going to be acquitted, so I thought there'd be riots, but thankfully he was convicted. I'm Adam Yenser, and I'm celebrating 1 year of doing this show for a year. So thank you to everyone who supported me. When I started, I had around 200 subscribers. Now I'm up to 600. And in spite of supporting Trump and making politically incorrect jokes and saying controversial things like men are men and women are women, I still haven't been canceled by YouTube. But I did see that there was a Nigerian pastor who was canceled by YouTube this week for telling his followers that he could cure gay people of their sexuality. Apparently his cure is better than the Johnson & Johnson gayness vaccine because that one causes blood clots, and the last thing gay people need is another Johnson. But seriously, this guy's name is T.B Joshua, and at first I thought that's a dumb thing to say, but then I found out he has 2 million subscribers, and those subscribers have to go somewhere. So I want to make this very clear. I can cure you of being gay. Please like and subscribe, and it will cure your gayness, even if you're really, really gay. Now here's what else is in the news. As I mentioned, the big story this week is that Derek Chauvin was found guilty of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and manslaughter for killing George Floyd. Chauvin is going to go to prison for a long time, so we better hope that his cellmate likes him as much as Candace Owens does. Prior to the verdict in the Derek Chauvin case, Democrat Maxine Waters told protesters to stay on the street and get more confrontational if he was acquitted. Man, she's angrier than Demi Lovato at a salad bar. I mentioned this in the last episode, but I've been kind of disappointed in how pro-Derek Chauvin a lot of conservative media has been. Personally, I believe Derek Chauvin committed a terrible act of police brutality and deserves to go to jail. Supporting police in general doesn't mean you have to defend bad cops, and the fact that George Floyd had drugs in his system and other health issues doesn't change what Chauvin did. And at the same time, I don't think anyone should support BLM, an openly Marxist and demonstrably violent group whose hypocritical founder, Patrisse Cullors, has cited her political influences as Vladimir Lenin and Mao Zedong. And speaking of Patrisse Cullors, she was criticized last week for buying several expensive luxury homes, which marks the first time a BLM protester has purchased something legally. The homes cost a total of $3 million, or 1/60th the cost of a BLM riot. Speaking of riots, I think you can hear them rioting outside. Apparently LeBron James told them an unarmed black girl was killed by police, so hold on a second. He had a knife! He was trying to stab somebody. He lied to you. He lied, like when people lie and say he was better than Michael Jordan. Or hopefully that takes care of it. I mean, LeBron James supports communist China and made Lola Bunny not sexy anymore. I don't know when he's going to stop. Former Vice President Walter Mondale passed away this week at the age of 93. Twitter users honored him with the viral hashtag, "Who is Walter Mondale?" This Tuesday was 420, or as math teachers call it, 1/5. At a right-wing convention, Jim Caviezel, who played Jesus in The Passion of the Christ, pushed the Qanon conspiracy theory that celebrities are killing children to obtain adrenochrome. I don't buy it. If celebrities could use blood to stay young, explain Janice Dickinson. She looks like Caitlyn Jenner if he was a man. Ted Nugent announced that he has COVID and it's the sickest he's ever been. His friends, family, and fan are praying for him. The president of Chad was killed this week on the front lines battling Islamic militants, while the president of the United States was almost taken out by a strong breeze. But rest in peace to the president of Chad. Not to be confused with President Chad, who heads up Sigma Chi at USC. New Jersey has added an X option for gender on their driver's licenses, and under the organ donor section, they've added the option, "I already donored my organ." So now people across the gender spectrum can become terrible New Jersey drivers. Jim Steinman, the songwriter who wrote Celine Dion's hit "It's All Coming Back to Me Now," passed away at the age of 73, or as Celine described him, way too young for me. Pope Francis is encouraging worshipers to engage in a marathon of prayer throughout the month of May to end the pandemic. Now, if you're not familiar with marathon prayer, it's where you pray so long that your nipples bleed and you crap yourself. California has the lowest COVID case rate now in the country because in California, everyone has already had it, died from it, or moved to Austin. Thank you, Governor Newsom. Authorities in Mexico caught criminals trying to sell and distribute fake COVID shots. They were being distributed under the name Juanson and Juanson. Investigators realized the shots were fake when they failed to cause a single blood clot. As Britain reopens, many public restrooms are still closed, which is causing an outdoor excrement problem, although the biggest pile of shit in Britain is still Prince Andrew. A recent study showed that women who were stressed before their pregnancy were almost twice as likely to have a girl, and women in China who were stressed before their pregnancy were almost twice as likely to have an abortion. Spotify has deleted 42 episodes of The Joe Rogan Experience that covered controversial topics like alternative medicine, gender identity, and Chris D'Elia allegedly being funny. NASA has successfully converted carbon dioxide on Mars into breathable air. Scientists hope they will one day be able to do the same thing in Bakersfield. In response to a successful online campaign, LeVar Burton, who played Geordie LaForge, will guest host Jeopardy. Then the following week, Worf will host the first ever Jeopardy Tournament of Death. A man in North Carolina was caught on video fighting a rabid bobcat that attacked him and his wife. They both got the Johnson & Johnson rabies vaccine and died of blood clots. But the sheriff's department was able to find and kill the bobcat. Oh man, the bobcat was unarmed, so they're rioting again. I gotta board up.